Well, you knew they couldn't stay away. They made a sequel. Having escaped the fiery destruction of the original Waxworks, Mark and Sarah face another grueling ordeal in Waxworks 2: Lost in Time, when Sarah is accused of murdering her stepfather, fleeing through the doors of time in a desperate search for proof of her innocence. The two lovers find themselves caught in the eternally recurring battle between good and evil. Together, they must stop one of the most powerful and demonic figures of all time, Lord Scarabus. From 1991, Waxworks 2: Lost in Time. 109 minutes. Alright, Waxworks 2. Mark and Sarah are the only survivors of the first one, and Sarah is put on trial when also a survivor of the first movie, a severed right hand, follows Sarah home and murders her stepfather, which is actually probably the best scene of the film. The creepy, one little dismembered right hand, the creepy dismembered right hand creeping around the living room. It's probably the best executed scene in this film. The film Waxworks 2: Lost in Time gets lost in its own way, gets in its own way, and it turns into like a scary movie type movie, like a parody of itself. And they start throwing in these references, which worked for the first film when they stuck with the Universal monsters. They stuck with like the Horror Hall of Fame. It worked for the first film, but in this one, they get into they start out with Frankenstein, which I'm cool with. It was fine. Then they go into 2001: Space Odyssey. Then they go into Alien and Aliens, and it just becomes a mess. And the big bad, the Lord Scarabus, who's supposed to be sort of this xenomorph type thing. It's like a xenomorph dinosaur looking. It's not really well done. The effects are not as cool. It's more comedy, more comedic. It's just over the top. It's everything that was good in the first one is just not. It's just not good. Not near as good as the first Waxwork, unfortunately. You do have some cool cameos by Bruce Campbell and David Carradine, but did they save the film? No, absolutely not. I was unfortunately checked out by that time, and I was like, oh really, they got David Carradine in here? I was like, okay, cool. I can't recommend Waxworks 2. As far as special features, there's only an audio commentary for Waxworks 2 by Anthony Hickox and Zach Galligan. So you had the director returned and the two leads of the first film returned, but it just didn't capture the magic of Waxworks 1. But let me know in the comments, guys, what you guys thought of Waxworks 2: Lost in Time. This has been Return of the Disc. I'm Dan. For more Return of the Disc, visit returnofthedisc.com. Check out the audio version of today's show, available on all major podcast platforms. And be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel.